all, good evening, everybody. This is
Good
where
evening.
This is where the recording will start. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our open webinar. I'm really super excited tonight. We've got a fabulous agenda, but before I talk about our main speakers, we've also got some fantastic testimonials. I don't know about anybody else, but I can see Bob's wee face here. Here we have Bob Hardy. Now, I've known Bob and Rosemary long time, over 20 years. That what they're doing in the business at the moment is phenomenal, and I'm just going to pass it over to Bob, who's going to give us a short testimonial. Thank you, Bob. It's over to you.
Thank you, Lynn. I hope I don't look as though I'm not really talking to anybody, but I do have to refer to notes. So you'll realise that when you get that little bit older. Okay. Yeah, I'm Bob Hardy, and I'm married to Rosemary. I've been married for 46 years, and we live in Romford, Essex. We started in network marketing in August 1999 with the old company Clean Easy. We started just to earn a little extra income, and we had 100 catalogues. So that cost us, I can't quite remember, but it was about £120. I know it was over £100, which was, compared to today's prices, quite expensive, really. So Rosemary asked me, what have I gone and done now? And I said, don't worry, it'll work. I'll get the money back, I'll get orders. It's only just going to cost me a little bit of my time. So over the years, we've built a good customer base, and they've all stayed with us, loyal, and it's been good for us at this time with the COVID. As they say, what you sow, you will reap. So we've built up the customer base. Catalogues is where 95% of our orders come from. So the COVID outbreak and lockdown put a stop to that on my birthday and wedding anniversary on the 23rd of March. And they make a note of that, Lynn. It was always be a reminder as to when the lockdown started. So what was next? Like everyone, we did gardening and general cleaning and repairs. But it got to the point where everybody started to do a little bit. Michael was promoting things a little bit more, and there was other people doing well online. So we were cautious about getting restarted, as I had not been out for a couple of months, being at the at-risk category due to my age. I made visors using acetate sheets, and I fitted them over an older pair of glasses, so I just modelled that a little bit. But no, it's very effective. I mean, customers had a bit of a laugh, like jeans had a laugh. But it broke the ice when I knocked on the door, yeah, and I wasn't there with my bandit-looking mask on. So I'll get rid of that for now, so that I can see what I'm doing. It's all right on the distance. So yeah, I made these visors, and I wore gloves and dropped the catalogues when dropping catalogues and delivering orders. Rosemary was preparing all the catalogues, catalogue packs with new bags. We had the letter from Michael explaining how the company was looking to deal with it and respect everybody's wishes. And we also put a newsletter in to inform customers of how we would be going about running our business, contacting them before we would deliver their orders, and make other arrangements maybe for payment and that sort of thing. I've had one customer actually, due to their situation, is when I've given them money, it's gone on the side and they've got a can of or a bottle of antibacterial spray, and I've ended up putting a soaking wet £20 note in my pocket. So yeah, people are very cautious and anxious about the situation, but we did our best to reassure them as to how we're going to continue in the future. So I started putting catalogues out again on Monday the 16th of May, and that gave us our first order for period 6, and the response was fantastic. We achieved a total sales for the period of £2,420, and we reached Viva Star 3,000. Thank you. I only left them with customers for 2 days. Collections and deliveries took longer than usual as customers wanted to chat and were glad to see us back. Also put our contact details on everything that we deliver, and the customers and friends and regarding Viva MK. We had 3 phone calls on, what was it, Tuesday, people wanting fridge deicers, mask packs, sanitizers, total of £62. That's just from people having our phone number, which gave us an income for 3 minutes on the phone of £15.50. So there. Since the relaunch of Viva MK in August last year, we've regularly appeared in the top 20 of the company's retailers per period. The period that's just finished, period 7, and our sales have been £1,712, giving us a 2,000 star level. So that's been in the 2 periods, a total of £4,132 pounds of sales in 8 weeks, an average of £516 per week. And this last period that's just finished yesterday, we are, with the figure that came out, or the table that came out this afternoon, we were 8th in the top 20. I believe these figures are due to people needing to restock cleaning and personal products that they could not get because of going out themselves. But I feel as long as we all take the necessary precautions to protect ourselves and our customers, and assuring them that we're working safe, it will benefit us all. I've also sponsored 4 new distributors over the last few months who are all progressing well. For new distributors that are blanket dropping, just a simple plan, follow your sponsor's advice, don't overthink it, and there's no need to do any in-depth research. Just follow the advice you're given, turn left or right out of your door and start dropping catalogues. Collect your catalogues, go back for your stragglers, at least 3 times. I mean, I'm still looking when I go back doing my deliveries a week later if I've got any books, don't come back straight away. So, they cost you money. I never give up on a missing catalogue until I get a definite no. And as Lynn would say, it's not the business that Disney work, it's the people that Disney work. So, just ask yourselves, would you employ someone that works like you do? Yeah? Or have you got some room for improvement? And just to finish with a Zig Ziglar quote that Birgit Tang Cortes in Adele's team put on last week: when you focus on problems, you will have more problems. When you focus on possibilities, you will have more opportunities. Okay, well, thank you, and I hope that helps somebody.
That was brilliant, Bob.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, my clap's very loud. I'm used
Pardon? You rephrase that.
It's really loud. I thought the end of it was when you said Disney, but I was wrong, so sorry about the big loud part. That was brilliant, Bob. Thank you so much. That was absolutely brilliant.
Okay,
you won't be able to hear a huge applause because I've asked most people to mute. And for anybody who's joined us a wee bit later, you can get Bob's recording. I do record them, so you can catch that on the official group. But if you could do me a wee favour, if you could mute your mics. I'm a little bit iPhone illiterate tonight and don't know how to mute everybody. But brilliant, Bob, I love that. So now I'm going to scroll along till I find this lovely couple. Where are they? I know you can probably see them. Mike and Jean, speak so I can see you.
Hello,
where are you?
can you see me?
No, yet, can I? No, yet. You've probably been the last one. It's a busy meeting. Hi, everybody, while I'm scrolling along. I don't need to see you, actually. I'll just pretend I can see you because I can't find you. I want to see you. Let's put on a speaker view. These bits will all be edited out and my videos will look really professional at the end. Right, speak now, Mike and Jean. I'll be able to see you.
Hello, Lynn.
Hello, Lynn.
Yeah, that's
Hey.
Hi.
Hello,
Right,
everyone.
Before you get started, I'd like to give you a quick introduction.
Okay.
Although this couple really do not need any introduction. I've known Mike and Jean for over 20 years. They're phenomenal. Michael often says, what they don't know about network marketing isn't worth knowing. What they don't know about this business isn't worth knowing. They're going to uplift you, inspire you, and motivate you as they always do. Look at them looking at each other going, oh my God, what are you saying, Lynn? But you know it's true. Most uplifting, inspiring couple I know in the business. And speak, Mike and Jean, so I can see you again, because it's me.
Can you hear
Right,
me?
and so over to Mike and Jean Day.
Thank you very much for that
Thank you,
lovely
everybody.
introduction, Lynn. That's very kind of you.
So
We're
I'm
going
going
to
to go
start
first.
with Mike.
I'm going to go first, yeah. Let me get a word of edgeway. Like Bob, I'm a man of a certain age, and so I also need to use my glasses and some notes as well. Well, welcome everyone to this virtual reality world. What's it like? Watching my beloved Man United with cardboard cutouts and crowd noises is just driving me mad. And I know that these Zoom meetings to keep us all in contact. Well, are you real? Are you cardboard cutouts? Are you really there? I know Lynn is. I can hear Lynn. Jean and I need human contact, please. We can't stand it. You know, we've got 2 grandchildren. Lena, who's only 1, and Lena just started walking when this lockdown started. So she hadn't seen any people really. And I feel as though I need to speak to her. I need to tell you. And she'd never seen people really. She hadn't really seen people. And as she started to walk, and obviously now it's eased up a little bit, every time she goes out and sees children, she's screaming and running after them. Keep her away from people. It's terrible. What's going through these kids' heads, I just don't know. And tonight, just now actually, before we started, our grandson, Leon, who's 6, and his hair, believe me, is really long. He's looking like Tarzan right now. He went for a haircut. His mum took him there, and he's only 6, and she couldn't go in with him. No. He had to wear a mask and a full apron and have his temperature taken. I just couldn't believe it. The poor lad. I felt so sorry for him. But hey, oh, this is the world we're living in right now, isn't it? And, you know, Jean and I, we really are going mad. We're a bit crazy anyway, but we're going mad. And the only thing that's keeping us sane is the grandkids, because obviously they keep your feet on the ground and they give you a lot of humour and all that.
Keep you young.
They keep you young. But also the miracle that is Viva MK. To think that through all of this, pardon my expression, shit, it's kept going. It's nothing short of a miracle. It really is. Unbelievable, seriously. And I know he's on tonight, but I have to say thank God for Michael, because I just don't know how he's done it.
No, I don't.
I don't know how he's kept it all going.
Amazing.
It truly is amazing. And I know we're all there to support him, but you know, after all, he is the head, and it's just unreal how he's kept it all going. And also the other thing that's kept us sane is there's the network, everybody out there now, all supporting each other, all these funny, humorous posts we've all been putting down. Even some of these political ones have started going political, which is not a good thing.
That's Mike, by the way, not me.
And for all of these posts,
We know when it's Mike, Jean.
For all of these posts have kept Jean and I anyway, sane. And even Jacko singing over there in Ireland,
yes,
it's kept us all sane. Well, just about sane anyway, because Jean and I are on the edge. We are on the edge. But I'm sure we all love this business with a passion. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And if Viva MK can go through all the trials and tribulations that it's gone through over the last 2 years and come out the other side and grow to be the massive business that we all believe it can, then oh my God, what a story we're all going to have to tell. Aren't we? It's going to be unbelievable. it will go down in the history of network marketing. It really will. One of the best stories any of us will ever have. I mean, what other company has gone through what we've gone through, come out the other side, and now has got potential to really grow?
And have the loyal people sticking with
I
us.
think it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And we're all going to be part of that story because we've all been there from the birth. And I think it's quite funny, actually, really, because over those 2 years, I don't think Viva MK has actually been born.
Yeah.
Because every time we sort of come out,
Something happened.
somebody notices we've gone back. It's been the longest pregnancy ever. Come there. And like I say, I think just about now, maybe things are starting to ease up, hopefully. The economy maybe start to get back on its feet. And I think finally, Viva MK may be born.
It is born.
But it won't be like these other businesses that we all know about. And where forever, in these other established businesses that we all know, we won't name them, you'll only ever be a spoke in a wheel, a very large wheel. But in Viva MK, you can all be part of the hub of that wheel. We can all be the engine of the wheel. We can all be there because we're there in the beginning. You're there now, we're all there now at the coalface. And what you do right now, from this moment on now, really, really matters. We're not on the surface like in these other companies, waiting to go down in the lift, to go underground along the trail, and maybe get a peek at the coalface. You'll never do that. But with Viva MK, we're there. We are there right now. We are at the coalface, and you are the coalface. So it's up to us all now. Lynn's laughing. It's up to us all right from now on to make this story come true. This story that we're all going to be able to tell one day in the future. It's up to us to make this story come true right now. And as we all know, this business is about two things. It's about retail. That's all it is. It's just retail recruiting. Now, I really believe that retail's not an issue. I know you can all retail. You're all really good at retailing anyway. And I believe that the figures that we're getting right now can easily be doubled. That's what I get better at squeaking, driving you mad. All I can hear is squeaking.
Yeah, if you could mute yourselves, guys. If you could just mute yourselves, please.
Well, squeaking, isn't it?
It's okay.
Yeah, so just there's somebody moving their phone or something about. It's okay, but thanks. Keep going, Mike. If you could mute yourself, guys.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Go on, Mike.
So this business is all about retail and recruiting. It's two things. That's all we need to focus on. The retail side of the business, I think, is right now is great. I think we're all retailing really well. It's starting to change, and as the catalogs start to improve and the product lines improve, I believe we can really double the retail that's there right now. Yeah. So I don't think that's a problem. But to make the business grow, we all know it's about recruiting. It's about recruiting new people and teaching. Have we gone off?
Yeah.
No, you're there.
We can't see anything. We've not got a picture.
Okay, don't worry.
Well, we can still see you, so.
All right.
All right.
I can still see you.
Okay. So it's about recruiting. We all know it's about recruiting, and especially new people. Recruiting new people and teaching them how to retail. That's what we've all got to focus on. And fortunately, or unfortunately, right now is a great time to recruit because of the economy. And we know there's going to be lots of people looking for an extra income because there's going to be lots and lots of redundancies out there. It's really not a good time for people. But what we've got to do, we've got to be very careful. And we've got to be really kind with people. We can't go at it like a bull in a china shop. There's going to be out there, there's going to be lots of damaged people, but they're all looking for an extra income or even a full-time income. So we've got to take our time with people and drip feed them into the business. For those of us who've been in other networks, which I know there's many of us online now, the birth of Viva MK, I believe also, is a new need as well, because it gives us a chance to change any of those dogmas that were set in stone in these other companies. Like, it's a numbers game, and what you lack in skills, you can make up for in numbers. Quotes that I've always detested. because I believe they send out the wrong message to people, especially new people.
It's new people.
Because new people are scared to death of numbers. They really are. They have no idea. And when you say put out X number of catalogues or post X number of posts online or in so many groups or speak to X number of people, they just freak out.
Because they can't conceive it.
They can't conceive it. When I started in network marketing, I was told to put out 400 catalogues a week by a very experienced leader. Mistake there. A very experienced leader. And when those 400 catalogues came into my house, I freaked out. I'd never seen anything like it. I couldn't believe it. I thought, how the hell am I going to put all those catalogues out? And I'll be honest with you, I really, really was going to quit. I thought, there's no way I'm going to do that. I don't want to do that. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't believe there was 400 houses where we live anyway. And I would definitely have quit if it wasn't for Jean and all the experience she's had in direct sales and all that. And with her coaching skills, she said to me, just pull your socks up and get, and she got the whip out. No, that's not true. What she did say to me was that, look, do what you can and what's comfortable for you. And so I started with 100 catalogues twice a week. And then I built that up to 150 twice a week. And for me, that was what ideal. That was my comfort zone.
300.
So that's what I used to do. And that was my plan. But what we've got to do with new people when we recruit is we've got to be coaches. We've got to become good coaches. And we've got to let people find their feet as well. By saying things like, now you've had a taste of putting out your catalogues or posting ads online. Let's have a look at your plan and see where we can up your numbers to get you earning that income that you wanted. Sound fair enough? You've got to say to become a coach. Because we have to remember that most people have never recruited in their lives, never. So it's the same when you're recruiting people. When we say to them, speak to 50 or 100 people, people just freak out.
You can't
New people. You can't visualize 10 people, never mind 50 or 100. And when you say, get yourself to build a small team of maybe 10 people, they can't understand how you can possibly find, never mind coach 10 people. They don't have the experience and it freaks them out. And that's why most people only ever recruit just a few people, or they build a small team where they can all be like friends, because they can't visualize the numbers and having a large team underneath them. All they want is a little family of just a few people where they can put their arms around them and keep them all together and look after them. So you've got to remember that, because they just don't know how it works, because most people have no experience of recruiting and coaching people. And we have to always remember that, because it takes time to learn the skills of coaching. And that's why, in my opinion, also, please, you should never say, make up in numbers what you lack in skills. It's just contradictory, because if you imagine it in sport, you would never, that would never happen. If you imagine tennis, where you want to get your serve in, if you did 50 serves and one of them got in, the coach wouldn't say, oh, that's great, just carry on, do another 200. He would coach you and look at your technique and to get better, and look at everything you do, how you hit the ball, your rocket, how you breathe, how you stand, how you use your body. It would analyze everything to make you get better. Why in this business do we just speak about do more? No, you've got to get better at skills, and there are skills to coaching and speaking to people. And it's like practice makes perfect. It doesn't. Practice doesn't make perfect. The right practice makes perfect. Yeah. You've got to be practicing the right thing. If you're not practicing the right thing, you just get frustrated. So if you're speaking to 50 or 100 people and you're only bringing one in, then you're doing something wrong. So it's no good just doing more. You'll just become frustrated, or you'll give up and pack in. You've got to work on your skills by having someone watch what you do and then critiquing you. Because people skills, that's what this business is all about. That's all it is. After the retail, it's people skills. That's what we've all got to study. But we have to understand that most people have never come across people skills in their lives. And they just go on to think that people skills is all about being friends with everyone. That's what they believe. And just saying whoop whoop every chance you get. Or just reading books. It's not about that. It's so much more. And that's why I want everybody to get really good at it. You have to study it and critique yourself all the time. Because we're always learning, we're all on the same journey. Because why? Because people are complex. But with Viva MK, we have the chance to start all over again and learn from any mistakes that we made previously. Because we've got nobody there to judge us now. There's none of this established hierarchy there to judge us anymore. We can all start to learn again from scratch because we are at the birth of the company. So let's get those skills really good. Practice those skills, and this business will drive forward to the heights that we all want it to be. And with that, I'm now going to hand over to my life coach. It's taught me everything I know about people skills. Jean Day.
You know, it feels really weird looking at a complete blank screen because I cannot see any faces.
Picture there.
It doesn't matter. Can you see us?
We can see you.
Okay. That's, as long as you can see us, that's fine. Okay, so thank you, Mike. That was excellent, even though
It was brilliant. Can I just spot and say
thank you, Lynn.
Thank you, Lynn.
it was brilliant. I was really, really glued to that.
Oh.
Even though I couldn't see.
Oh. Well, you know what? I'd first of all like to thank Lynn for asking us on tonight, because she really has been the glue that has kept many people together on webinars. And for that, Lynn, I really do thank you, because I know you do open,
Oh, there we are.
Yeah, you do the open webinars, and I just think it's phenomenal. I've got to admit, I am not good at webinars. I like to talk to people, but however, I am enjoying this. I've got to say I'm enjoying it. And it really is great to connect with you all tonight. Before I start talking to you, I just want to share a product with you, actually, because today, great minds think alike, Lynn. Today, we've had all our carpets cleaned because they were absolutely filthy. The lounge, the hall, the conservatory and the dining room. And I came back at 4 o'clock, left Mike in, and I came back at 4 o'clock. And the place stunk. It absolutely reeked. And what came in my delivery today was the blast can. And this is no word of a lie. I went round with just one blast. I cannot believe how this product works. It's amazing. So I really do recommend that when you go, for those of you that do home deliveries, that you take this with you, give your customers a blast, not in the face, but, you know, give them a blast. And let me tell you, have some in your car because they smell gorgeous and they really work. So that's the blast can. I can really recommend it. So what I want to talk about, just quickly, I'm chatting to everybody, is about our attitude. And I really do believe now, more than ever, with Viva being, again, so new, and after all this COVID madness, it's been difficult, hasn't it, to keep a good attitude about things. I know for me, Mike and I being of a certain age, we've been really locked down. And my attitude hasn't been always what it should be. I've been quite fed up, and that's not like me. However, I want to talk to you about attitude, because this book, Attitude is Everything, was the very first book that I read in network marketing. And even though I'd been in direct sales for many years, I thought I'd got a pretty good attitude. But you know what? It wasn't very good until I read this book. This book I recommend to everybody and all new people. Go back and revisit it, because you'll get something new out of it every time. But you know, people say be persistent and consistent in this business. But you know, what does that really mean? What does that really mean to you? Because there's something that comes before that persistency and consistency that I think many of us forget about. And that is, it's called commitment. You see, commitment actually comes before you're persistent and consistent. Because if it's true, if you want to move mountains, and believe me, we're going to have to move mountains in Viva if we want to get it to the top and be back to where it was and blow all these other networks out the water, which I'm telling you, with our product range, we can. It says, what this power is, I cannot say. All I know is that it exists and it becomes available only when a man is in that state of mind in which he knows exactly what he wants and is fully determined not to quit until he finds it. That is commitment. And you know, when you look at this business, you think about it. Look at how committed Michael has been. You know, with all the challenges he has had, he has been totally committed. And what have we all done? We followed him. Because Michael has had that commitment, we followed him. Now, you people in the business, whether you're retailing or whether you want to build a team, if you are not totally committed, you are not going to attract committed people. That is a fact. You've got to have that commitment first, that you're going to do whatever it takes. And it doesn't matter, there's no time limit on this. It actually doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you're committed to achieving that goal. It might be that you want to, first of all, achieve £1,000. You're committed to that, and you know what your plan is going to be. And then your next step could be that you're committed to start building a team and recruit 10 people and show them how to do £1,000. You've got to be totally committed that you know this business works and that you are going to do whatever it takes to jump over any obstacle that might come your way. And the reason why you can be persistent and consistent is because you're committed. So get that word commitment right in the forefront of your mind at all times. So, to build Viva, yes, we're committed. We've all got to be committed. But now we've got to be committed, if we really want to put Viva where it should be, into recruiting more people. And then committed, because this takes time, to coaching and teaching those new people how to recruit themselves, because you cannot do it all by yourself. It's impossible. I've tried it. It doesn't work. You have got to teach people how to recruit, how to bring people in, and then how to coach them through. And that takes time, commitment, patience, and the whole. Okay. So what's the first thing we have to do to get recruiting? Of course, we've got to create leads. That's the very first thing in recruiting, isn't it? If we've got no leads, we've got no business and we've got no one to speak to. So we've got to create lots of leads. And I do think we need to get back to the basics of this business. And one thing that we always thought, and we still are when we start having our proper meetings again, is we need to get back to our activity bags. You know your snappy bag? Well, you need to get back to filling your activity bag up every single day, whether it's with your flyers, whether it's how many online ads you're going to do, whether it's how many warm market people you are determined to speak to each day or each week. And, you know, at the moment, shop ads, maybe some shops won't let us in, it's a bit dicey, but that won't be forever, guys. That won't be forever. And, you know, we can still chat to people in the 2-meter distance. We can still chat to people in parks or wherever we go. And you can just tell people, you're looking for people with this awful economic crisis at the moment. We're looking for people to join our fabulous team because we've got no cap on what we can do, unlike many jobs that have been furloughed. That is a unique selling point. You don't have to be furloughed. Okay, so what I would recommend though is you have to create a minimum, very minimum when you're new, of 20 leads a week coming into your business. That's the very minimum. You know, don't start saying I've got to create 1,000 leads or 500, because you know what you'll do? You will blow yourself out of the water and you'll give up before you start. Everything, especially when you're teaching new people, everything in this business is about drip feeding, slowly does it. But as long as you're doing it with commitment and persistency, every single week, guess what? You will have success. I promise you that. If you fill your activity bag up, it might just start off with 100 flyers a day and some shop ads or whatever you're doing. Speak to a couple of Walmart, put some online ads on. But as long as you're doing it every day, 5 days a week, and you're consistent with it, I promise you, you will build a team. In fact, it's only when people start going at it like a bull in a china shop, and then they do loads and they burn themselves out. The next thing, they're on the phone. I can't cope with this. The kids are being neglected. This one, that's not the way to do it. You start off small and you build up. You do something every single day on that activity bag to get your leads coming in. Once your leads are coming in, this is when you can start to improve your skills. So it is all about coming out your comfort zone as well, because again, it's like Mike said, most new people are not used to this. They're not used to recruiting. They're not used to speaking to people on the phone, and they're not used to really getting people started. So I always say, get your sponsor to critique you, not criticize you, but critique you. You will be amazed at how, when your sponsor listens to you doing a call about the business, you will be amazed how a few little words can change your whole presentation. And if she can tell you that and you go on and you practice it, that is the slight edge of your business that starts to shine through. You all know what the slight edge does. That really does matter, especially when you're talking to people. So get someone to listen to you. It doesn't matter. I've listened to loads of people and we've had a good laugh. And, you know, I've said, and you said this, or you said that, and you didn't say this, or you didn't say that. Stop waffling. That's the biggest killer, you're waffling on. And, you know, that person has been so happy because we've spoken about it together, we've critiqued together, and it's helped them to drive the business forward. And this is why you can't bring hundreds of people in the beginning who want to recruit, because you can only coach 5 people at a time, I believe. Because the rest, you can't cope with it. So critique your people and let your sponsor listen to you. So when you're speaking verbally on the phone, okay, and you're doing, I say, if you bring in 20 leads in, you should be able to get 10 appointments from those 20 leads that you get. So if you in the beginning do 10 appointments a week, you should get 1 sign-in. That's 4 a month. That is more than enough for you to practice on and coach in the beginning. And if you're doing that persistently and consistently, before you know it, you're going to have a 10-wide business. You really are. You're going to have a 10. If you're doing 1,000 and you start teaching them to do 1,000, you're going to have a 10K business. But that won't happen overnight because you've got to practice and understand that. Don't beat yourself up. You have got to practice. So when we're talking to people verbally on the phone, know your facts. Really know your facts. Know what the business is all about. Know your compensation plan. Know the price of the catalogues. Know how many catalogues you think they need to start with. Or if they're doing online, you know, be fair with them. It's going to take time online because at the end of the day, unless they have got an established online customer base, they are not going to get loads of sales straight away. To be direct and fair with people. And that way, they will treat you with that same respect. Don't start bullshitting and telling them you get £500 sales online straight away, because that doesn't happen. It really doesn't happen. So when you're talking to people on the phone, what most people have got to understand, you've got to listen more than you talk. So when you pick that phone up, we have a presenter that we talk people through. So we've got it at our side and we just click it and we tell them how the business works, why it works, what we've got to do, how they can join, exactly what it's all about. But the big thing is, before you go into that, you have got to ask them what they want, not you telling them what they want and what they want to earn. So if you all jot this word down, because people sometimes dry up and think, well, what can I say to get them talking? You do. I know, I've done it myself. You dry up and I used to say, oh, well, will £50 a week be okay? And that's no good. That's no good. You've got to find out from them what they need. So if you write the word form down on your pads and you start with that to open them up, what does that mean? Form stands for family, occupation, recreation, and money. So you start by asking them, tell me a bit about your family. And then you shut up. Let them talk. Tell me about your family. Don't be frightened of awkward silences, because that's what you want. You want them to tell you. So you've got a picture of how you can conduct your appointment. Yeah. And then when they've told you all about the family, are they married, are they single, are they divorced, don't be crying. They've come to you because they want something. Remember that. They've come to you, they want to find out how they can earn an extra income. So you've asked them about the family. Then you're going to say, so what's your occupation? Are you working at the moment? Tell me about it. Tell me what you like about it. Tell me what you don't like about it. Don't go saying to them, oh, a job, that's rubbish, because they might love the job. Do not do that. Let it come from them. What they like about it, what they don't like about it. They'll soon tell you what they don't like about it, and you can then bring that into your presentation and show them how they can be fulfilled by running their own business. And then, very important, what sort of things do you like to do? R stands for recreation. What sort of recreational things do you like doing? Tell me, with your family, holidays, what do you like? And they'll start to talk, open them up. And you'll often find when they start talking about recreation, the money will start to creep in, because they might say, oh, well, a holiday, you know, we'd love to go on holiday, or a car, or whatever. You can then say, okay, so you end with that M, money. So to do all that, you've told me about your family, you've told me about your occupation, you've told me what you like doing. So what do you think, sort of money-wise, you will need to earn to fulfill all your desires? And they'll tell you. So it's coming from them, not from you. So it's actually quite simple to close them at the end. Once you know what they want, it's a doddle. But if you write that word form down and remember to use it, it will stop you talking a load of stuff. It really does. Because people don't want to hear about you. What do people like talking about? Themselves. They really do. So what you also need to remember, at the end of your presentation, you found out all about them. The only thing you've got to do now, you've spoken them through the business, you've told them what kit they need, because you tell them, you don't ask them. You know, if they want to earn money, they're going to have to start with a big kit. Or if they want to start with online, it's a £5, which is nothing. You've got to close them, and you've got to say, well, you know, Mary, from everything that you've told me, you know, this business fits you down to the ground. Wouldn't you sound fair enough? Right, let's send you the link and get you started. It is as simple as that. It really is as simple as that. So once they've joined, what do you do then? This is when your real work begins. Let me tell you, every bit of coaching you do to a new person will pay you dividends for that residual income when you have built a proper team. We were in Clean Easy for 18 years and we built an amazing team. But you know, in our first 3 years, we worked 7 days a week, night and day. And sometimes I used to be on that phone coaching people and I used to think, will I ever get there? But you know, the more you practice and the more you cut your teeth, you start understanding the language that you need to get a person through. And it is all about language. It's, you know, I started off by saying attitude is everything. Well, it is about the positive language you use around your team at all times. You know, you'll be talking to people and you'll be coaching new people who have had rubbish pickups, who have got wet with the knickers, who have had no online responses to the online ads and have had no sales. And it's up to you as that coach to be committed, and back to that word commitment, to telling them that I promise you that this business works. We are living proof of it. The network, I can let you speak to anyone in the network who's stuck at it and listen to my advice step by step, will get through. So you have got to take that person through right from when you sign in, right to when the catalogues come, right to how you show them to put them together. We used to do the first drop and pickups, which you can't do as much now. However, I still recommend, while we are new in this business or still in its early days, flyer locally, build locally, and spread out from there. Because when you're local, you can go and have a face-to-face chat with people, and that pays dividends. You can also help them through their ups and downs in the business far more than you can on the phone. Nothing beats face-to-face contact with that new person. And then you'll find that they'll probably start to spread out and they'll bring people in from other areas. And the closer you keep them to you, the better. The stronger your business will grow, the stronger you will feel, and the better you'll be able to coach people. You really will. So I'll end on, remember, your attitude is your vision. Your attitude is your vision. And you seriously need to work on it every single day. Thank you for listening. God bless and all the best. Bye-bye.
Wow. Unmute yourselves, guys. I need to hear more than me clapping. Well done. Oh my goodness, I think my introduction wasn't quite accurate. That was phenomenal.
Brilliant, Jean, thank you.
Wow, that was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Mike, I really thoroughly enjoyed your talk, and everything you said really hit home, 100%. And Jean, the messages were coming through, what an inspiration this woman is. And I was writing what I said, what you don't know about this business isn't worth knowing. Absolutely phenomenal. Thanks for me, and another big clap for everybody else.
Lovely to be with you. Thank you.
Phenomenal. You don't get the atmosphere on the Zoom, everybody cheering you on, but we're here to cheer you on. You will see all the comments on Facebook tomorrow, Mike and Jean, I promise you. That was just an inspiration. We are running a little bit behind, but I hope you don't mind, because that was well worth it. Right, so we heard from Bob Hardy, did his testimonial, and Bob said it's mostly catalogue retail. So the next lady we're going to hear from is called Sarah. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Sarah, because that's how I decided that's how it's spelled. That's how you can tell me. Right. Sarah Salisbury, who has been doing mainly online, so I won't be able to find you, Sarah. So I'll go just scroll along to get the I'll be able to hear you. Right, before you start talking, Sarah, could we ask everybody to mute, because we're getting some feedback. Just take a couple of 10 seconds. If everybody could just mute themselves. You're welcome to unmute at the end, as we always do. Right, Sarah, it's over to you, the online queen. Miss Magic.
Well, thank you for asking me, because let's be honest, I have got no experience like all the rest of you. Mine doesn't go into years or years, but I'll first, you said my name right, so thank you for that. Louise, that beauty button doesn't work on my phone, so I don't know where you got yours from, but it's not working tonight for me. But no, I'm Sarah. I started May of last year, purely for a distraction, as you all know. Wasn't committed. The word what Jean has just used, no, it didn't come into my mind at the beginning. It was purely a distraction for something going on in my personal life. I have 9 children, eldest being 30, the youngest being twins of almost 11. And they have always been my main priority. So, like I say, on the first year, first 6 months, everything was about them. So this was just a distraction for my head. I soon realised that when everybody told me that I joined at the wrong time, because let's be honest, not long after I joined, we had the relaunch of Viva MK. I went to the first showcase in September, and that was when I realised that oh, I quite like this. I could do something with this. So that's when I thought to myself, okay, the few catalogues went out, few online posts, Blue Magic appeared, Little Miss Magic appeared, and from then on, it was just, that was me, you know, a new beginning for me. December was when the troubles ended for me, so I decided it was time to be committed. I moved house 2 days before Christmas and decided that January was going to be the time that I started. So in January I started, and I posted online. Now what I do for online is post 5 posts a day, and that'll be in, you know, my group, my page. I also have a website which is set up with blogs, etc. And I do it religiously every day for the 6 months I've done that. And then my sales at the beginning of January were no more than £400, I think, at most. And I thought that wasn't good enough. And I knew I had the passion for Viva MK, so I decided to do a little more and hit a little more. So I got to the 5,000 myself in January. I promised myself that I was going to start team building. So I did that as well. And then obviously we hit lockdown. And everything suddenly comes to a standstill, but it didn't for me. I've continued to hit over 1,000 in personal sales for the last 3-4 months. I first got it with my team. We first hit 1,000 with the team, so they deserve the recognition, not me, because obviously they all help. And then it was a case of I wanted that 1,000 myself to move myself up. So I did that, and that is what I've actually done. I've consistently got the 1,000. I've just reached the highest. I've gone higher each month, each period. This time I've just ended on, I think it's almost 1,200 personal retail. And yes, it is all online. I haven't been out with catalogues due to health and illness. I was at the at-risk and had to stay at home. So I was only going for essentials. So I haven't been out of the house or done anything. So it has all been online. And now I have a team of around 40. Now, when Jean just said about learning about your team, yes, we all go out, we can recruit as many as we want. And I did exactly the same. Oh, yes, you can come. And I didn't really think it was a case of, okay. And I sat down and I thought to myself, this isn't working. Now, my son who's 20 is autistic, doesn't socialise anything else, and I have to drip feed everything. So me and my family have got learned for me to drip feed. So I thought this will work with team. So I did the same with the team. So I kept drip feeding little bits. And every time they saw me succeed, that is a motivator. No, Michael, I do not live in my car before you ask me at the end of this. I just like to be in the car. It's peaceful. Yeah, I just drip fed bits and bits to the team, and I've got some which don't do anything, don't get me wrong. I've got some that are starting catalogues, and I'm explaining that because I present, they present. I've explained that they can do it both ways, present or blanket drop. It's entirely up to them. And I never rush anybody. If they're ready to do it, they're going to do it. And that's how I work with people. They come to me. As much as I go to them, I speak to them on a regular basis, all of them, but they're always welcome to come to me at any time, which most of them do. And since seeing my success continue and keep growing, more and more are coming back to me. Bit by bit, they're coming back. And my daughter joined last week, Abby, and she got, what was it, £100 in her first 24 hours. So she was watching Mum, and obviously she does the makeup side. I don't do the makeup side, so Abby does that side, and she sold £100 you know, like I say, 24 hours. And then I've got somebody who has been with me since the beginning of April, who's not done anything but kept seeing me and spoke to me several times. And she kept thinking, it's not working. And I said to her, all you have to do is be consistent and make sure people see your passion for the product. We all know I do video after video and talk after talk on official, but, you know, I tell her the same thing. Be passionate, show that to the people. And she's just made a first sale of 3 duvet covers. So I'm over the moon with that because, like I say, it's just keeping on going. And that's what it's all about. And I know that I haven't, you know, for 6 solid months, it's took me to get, well, it hasn't took me 6 solid months to get the 1,000, but for 4 solid months of doing it day in, day out. And when you're online, it's more work than it is when you're doing catalogues because you're constantly on it. As Louise, you know, me and Louise have spoke several times, and it's constant. So you can't, you know, let that go. If you're committed to online, you've got to remember it's going to take a lot more work than it is doing catalogues. Personally, I you know, I will go out and do catalogues when the time's right. At the moment, obviously, the time's not right for me, but I will. So I don't actually tell people, no, don't do catalogues, just do online. I make sure they've got the variety. But yes, it's been about, I don't know, it's just the passion. People always say to me, where did it come from? And I don't know. It just came and that was me done. But yeah, that's basically all I can tell you because mine's only 6 months really.
It's a phenomenal story, Sarah. You do absolutely brilliant. You're an inspiration, and thank you so much for doing your testimonial tonight. And well done to your daughter.
Thank you.
For getting her sales and tell her welcome to Viva MK. Thank you so much. I'm going to go right on to our next testimonial. So you need to speak Frank so I can see you.
Right.
Where's Frank? This young man.
Young man.
A young man. We've had Bob who's done his catalogues and Sarah who's exclusively online. Frank won't mind me saying this if I say that Frank's an old-time catalogue person who converted to online probably about 2 years ago when you started Viva. When did you really get into it, Frank?
Yeah, maybe 12, 18 months ago. Yeah. Yep.
So what Frank's going to do is give you his testimonial, which is a bit of a combination of both online and catalogues over the last 2 months. Over to you, Frank.
Okay, thanks, Lynn. Thanks. Yeah, well, yeah, basically, like everyone, obviously, when the lockdown came, I was affected by that. Obviously, things are just ground to a halt as far as Viva MK was going. And I also run a traditional business, and that ground to a halt as well. So period 4, nothing done. Period 5, tried to do a wee bit online, but it didn't seem to be working. But then I noticed that you know, others in the business, others in the group were getting good results. So I just, you know, changed my mindset a little bit. Obviously, lockdown was starting to relax a little bit. Picked up some tips that others were using and just decided to get out there and target my customer base again. I don't have the biggest customer base, but the returns I get from it seem to be very good. So targeting my customer base using one of the letters that Michael had been good enough to put together from the company, a little other sort of newsletter type letter that I'd put together, put them out with it, obviously using the social distancing. As I said, I sort of cherry picked my customer base. So most months I only put out to, actually let's just quickly check it, about 90 catalogues in period 6, and same again, 90 catalogues period 7, and I'm getting over £8 a catalogue from the customers. So,
wow.
So both months that's generated about 700, 750 pounds of orders from that. Like others, yeah, I've been doing the online sales. Back when I first did start, as Lynn said, doing it about 18 months or so ago, I was getting sometimes as much as £1,000 online as well each month. But the last 2 months has probably both been about £300–400 online as well. And that's just been consistently even if I don't have the time, as Sarah says, it's ideally, try and get 5, 6 adverts on. But if you don't even have the time, just make sure you get 1, you get 2, just so the consistency is done there every day. And that's all I've been doing. And that's really it. Other than that, service-wise to your customers, just be quick and get the delivery to them. We've got an excellent service, obviously, still that we get our stuff in 48 hours. Even though I've been doing this for years, still this week when I'm out delivering, people are amazed at how quickly we can get stuff to them. And the quicker you get it to them, the easier it is to go back to them the next time, because because you've got that period of time, that you're not going back to them the next week just after you've delivered, this sort of thing. So I suppose that's really it. I suppose I know we're running sort of short of time, but I think that just sort of okay.
Thanks very much, Frank. That's excellent. A great combination of both. But as you know, that Kate and I are really excited because we feel as though we converted you to the online.
Well done, Frank. That was brilliant.
We feel a bit of responsibility there for nagging and moaning at you. Well done, Frank. And before our wonderful MD comes on, Nigel and Amanda, I know you did one for our guys the other night, but if you could do a more relaxed one, because they were out picking up the catalogues the other night when they did this one for us. If you speak, I'll be able to see you on screen. Are they there? Nigel and Amanda, they might have disappeared. No, right.
They're on mute, Lynn. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. That's what I was getting a bit panicky in case you for your dinner. Go girl, go girl.
Right, good evening everyone. For those that don't know us, I'm Amanda and this is Nigel. I run the business part-time due to working for Hermes, which has been very busy being a delivery company. But I'm looking to half what I do with them so that I can spend more time on my business. I've just learned how to do online thanks to Lynn. So I'm a virgin at online selling, but I've done £150 this period, just posting ads every day, and Nigel's been bumping them when I've been at work, so he's been bumping them all up. Nigel does the business full time, so he does the blanket drops, the cold books, as we call them. Probably most people call them blanket books, which he does 100 plus 6 days a week. Nigel also does the customer books, which we do on a 3-week rota basis. We did this in our Clean Easy days, where we decided that we'd go around our customers 3 weekly rather than 4. It just worked well with us. We also, when we get the blanket books in, we look at the amount of customers we've got rather than the value that they spend. To us, we'd rather have 5 new customers spending £1 rather than 1 customer spending £50, because those 5 customers would then go on to spend more than that 1 person. So that's what we look at. Yeah.
You okay? How much did you sell last period?
1,400 and something. So yeah, we also we've started to introduce all our old Clean Easy customers from years past. We sort of know where all our customers used to be. We'll go around and say, oh, there used to be one there and one there. So we've started dropping to all our old Clean Easy customers, and they all recognise us from our tickets, because we were always distinctive, whereas it was always me, Nigel, and our son Daniel. and we nicknamed him from when he was a baby as the chairman. So even now, when we go back to these old customers from Clean Easy days, they'll say, "Oh, how's the chairman?" And we'll go like, "He's 19 now." so it sparks a conversation, and they remember us from that. So yeah, it's that's really good. We're on course to get the Viva 2000 this month. Which we didn't quite get, but it doesn't matter because we are heading towards what we want, and so we're getting out there to get it. We're doing online, we're doing customers, we're doing blanket drops. We do want to start team building, which that is going to start as from this month, because we would like to get to 4,000 retail and get a team and be premier, and that's it basically. That's us, unless Nigel would like to say anything.
No, that's about it.
We call Nigel the quiet man. I wonder why.
I'll just do the work.
He just do the work. He's just the donkey.
Oh, thank you so much. And Nigel, what I love about their story is Amanda, she calls herself the Facebook or the selling, online selling virgin. She really just started from scratch a couple of months ago, and I was more delighted. I hope this doesn't sound bad, but your £150 sales online than the catalogues, because I know you are superstars with the catalogues, but you're working really hard, both of you. Well done, and thank you so much for sharing that.
And
now,
I've had another sale tonight of another duvet.
Yay!
Online.
So you just love it when you convert. So what I've had tonight was a good mix. Thank you so much, first of all, to everybody who shared their story. Bob Hardy, Sarah Salisbury, I'm glad I'm saying your name right now, Frank Devine, and Nigel and Amanda. But before I go on to our next speaker, who needs very little introduction, just another massive thank you to Mike and Jean. I'm really fired up. You guys, we need to get this lockdown ended so we can get in front of you. Where's Michael? Speak, Michael, so I can see you. Are you still there?
I'm here, yes.
I'm so sorry the meetings went a bit over, but don't you think it was worth it?
It was fantastic, absolutely fantastic, as they always are in this unusual setting that we now speak to each other temporarily.
I'm just going to put it over to you. You need no introduction. Everybody else has raised you up, and I might slip up.
Okay, well, I won't keep everybody too long, but it's great to see so many people on the screen that in this period that's just gone and the period before have had an element of success in the business. You know, any sale in the business is an element of success. We've got people on here that some of you have had your best sales period since you've been in the business, which is just fantastic. But then so have we. As you saw from my message this morning, period 7 is the best period in 2020 so far. And then the best period we've had since we restarted the business in September. Now, I know Mike was talking about it earlier. You know, it's taken a massive collaboration of everybody to get where we are, whether it's been, you know, the suppliers, or the fact that the warehouse worked so diligently, or whether it's the buying team, or whether it's the way you all stuck together. But collectively, we got ourselves to having the best period that we have had in the business, which is unbelievable considering the entire country was shut for 3.5 months. And on the day that Boris announced the lockdown, our business dropped by 75% within a matter of hours. Within a matter of hours, you saw the significant change, and it dropped by 75% on the 24th of March towards the end of that week. And to go from that to period 7, and it's only mid-July, to have the greatest sales period we've ever had, but across the whole business, not one leg, not one person, not one team, almost across the board. Anybody who's done anything in the business has had results. So that has been nothing more than a collaboration of absolutely everybody. I don't think there's anybody in this business that could do it alone, whether it's you guys or us. You know, there's no team that could do it alone. It's been just a phenomenal collaboration. And, you know, even when we saw the numbers, we were looking at them yesterday, and I was talking to, we were in the office yesterday. The office is in Blackburn, might not be there for much longer, but we were in the office yesterday, and we were looking at the results about, yesterday, about 3 o'clock. And it was looking like closing in on our highest period. That was at 3. By that 3:45, it way surpassed it. So within 45 minutes, loads of more orders came in. Now, you know, we forecast for every period of the business. Of course, you have to forecast what you're going to do. And honestly, consistently over the last few periods, since bank holiday, in fact, really since the bank holiday, May bank holiday, every single period has been surpassed based on our forecast. And our forecasts are diligent. They're based on distributor numbers. They're based on activity. They're based on new people coming in. They're based on product availability. So they're a bit of scientific work, but every single one of them have been surpassed. So to have a great sales period in the middle of July, which traditionally is a very, very, very quiet period of the year, you know, I cannot thank you all enough for collaborating and coming together the way you have. And there's so many of you on here tonight that have had, you know, your best sales period, and that's why our results have been the way they have been. But going back to what Mike was saying about the coal face, you know, and the product that Jean highlighted, you know, that blast can is a perfect example of how our small business can operate. The blast can was a random supplier making contact with me and saying, we've got a great product, would you like to try it? And I said, yes, why not? And he said, oh, that's quick. People don't normally say yes that quickly. Don't you want to see it? I said, no, you sound passionate about your product. I'll put you in touch with Angela, who's our buying manager. You sound passionate about it. It sounds good, sounds great. If it's half as good as it sounds from the way you are passionate about it, we'll do well with it. And lo and behold, there we have it. Almost 4 weeks later, from getting an email to getting it in front of you, that's all it took. And again, with the candles and waxes, you know, that came from ideas from the network. You know, we always wanted to have good quality candles, but again, it was connecting with a supplier. Again, a recommendation from one of you guys, which was fantastic because you are at the coalface. We made contact and we thought, you know, it's a small business. Let's give them some business. And the order we gave that small business, the biggest order they've ever had since they started. So not only have we got some great products, we've also managed to help a business that's never had the order the size they've had. And let me tell you something about the candles. They only came in today. We've had to put our second order in today already in less than 24 hours. And the whole point is that our business is small and flexible enough that we can take a product like that and make an entire catalog out of it if we want to. We can take the blast can and say to them, all right, well, give us 500. Let's see how it goes. The virucidal spray was another example of that. Again, a supplier said, you know, we'll work with you. If you give us enough quantity, we'll put your name on the label, but you've got to buy a certain amount. So we said, okay, well, let's have 2,000 bottles. Let's have 2,000. Let's take a punt on it because in the era we're in now, we can sell a virucidal spray. Of course we can. It also gets you banned on Facebook, but that's another story. So we can sell a virucidal spray. And there, lo and behold, we've already given them our third order. And as you notice, it had gone out of stock because they could not supply it fast enough because that spray and those bottles were made for us. The hand sanitizer is another example of that. You know, we're small enough to say to somebody, put our name on it. We'll buy 2,000 bottles of that to make it worthwhile putting our white label name on it. and we'll sell it. So we've got our own hand sanitizer, blast cans, candles and waxes, and biocidal spray, all because we're small enough to say to manufacturers, yes, we'll just take it. And let me tell you, I've been working on a secret product today. I went to see a manufacturer this morning. The appointment was made about 2 weeks ago because they were all on lockdown. So about 2-3 weeks away, appointment was made. I was in front of this supplier this morning, and I like the product so much, and I like the guy's passion about the product so much. I said, you know what, we're going to sell this. We're going to sell it. He goes, okay, do you want to come back with a decision? I said, no, I'm deciding now. Do you not need to go and speak to your team? Or I said, no, we don't work like that. If you're showing passion, it's something we can sell, let's just have it. If you've got a purchase order now, we'll sign it now. And it was that quick. And that's the beauty of our business, what we have. That product, I think, is going to do very well. I'm going to keep it under wraps until it's time to talk about it, because it's going to have to be developed. So what we've given the jurisdiction for today is for him to go and develop that the way we want it. And that decision, again, wasn't made haphazardly. It was made quickly because we don't have to speak to a board. We don't have to have people to discuss it with. If something's good, we can do it. And that's where you guys come in. You know, so many of you, even watching now, have had a connection in the business where whether we've taken your idea or we've discussed something with you, or you've had this one-to-one connection with us. And that is something I never ever want to change in this business. And that's our unique selling point. Any one of you can make contact with me tonight, and we can discuss a product or a product range. You can even introduce me to somebody that you know has a great product, and we'll talk to them. You see, you can't do that in big businesses. We couldn't even do that in Clean Easy. The decision that we made this morning, or I made, to introduce this new product that's being developed for us, which will have its own website and everything else, because to me, it's that important, the product. In Clean Easy, that would have taken a year to get to the table. It would have taken a year of board meetings, of sign-offs, of approvals, and all the other corporate bullshit that goes with things like that. But this is the great thing. In this connection, not only do we connect, but we can connect with people out there as quickly as that. So in respect to product innovation, what we've been trying to do is bring more and more products to you that we can either test to see if they're going to sell, or we just know they're going to sell. The Virucidal was a great example of that. You know, they labeled it for us. It's a very, very, very specific, specialized product. And, you know, so much so, we've actually put it on the front of the autumn winter catalog, which I'll tell you now is for once on time. And you'll have that by the end of July. So next week, we'll get you the PDF for that. And no doubt the monkeys in the office will probably release some of the products before I let them, but no doubt they will. But that's bang on time. So today, we're actually working on the Christmas catalog. And when I think back in September, we launched the business with a 22-page Christmas catalog, and we had nothing else. That's all we had, if you remember. 22-page Christmas catalog and an 8-page House Proud. Collectively, we had 8 pages of selling products. That's all we had. And you all stuck with it, and we carried on, we worked on through it, and we are where we are, even though the entire world has been through this most bizarre era. We have still managed to get our best period ever. And it's astonishing when you think of it like that. And, you know, I'll talk more over the next few days about forthcoming catalogs and things like that, because of course, we've still got the showcase in the diary, and I'm determined to make that happen. You know, I can't even get the okay on hotel rooms yet because nobody knows if crowds are allowed into venues, but we had to book things. You know, I've got 12 hotels on hold at the moment. None of these hotels can even confirm that they can work with us. 6 of them aren't even open yet. But you have to do work like that. So 12 hotels currently on hold to help try and accommodate our shenanigans. And I'm still determined to do it. Goodness knows where we'll be in October. Before I finish, you know, it's always right to address out of stocks. And I can categorically tell you, anything you see that isn't available is usually because the supply chain somewhere is damaged and they cannot get things to us. It's simple as that. We've placed some of the biggest orders we've ever had because we want to be at the front of the queue for when they do get products. But they can't supply us. There's a worldwide shortage of trigger sprays, believe it or not. Don't make the mistake of buying your own trigger sprays either, because they're specialized for every single bottle that you have. For example, the biocidal trigger spray is very different from the pharmaceutical spray. So you cannot mix and match trigger sprays. You can't work like that. But anyway, my point is, worldwide shortage of trigger sprays, supply chains broken, but we're still plowing through. And that's why you see little deliveries coming in every day almost. It's because everything is coming in very small dribs and drabs because suppliers can't get things to us fast enough. Biocidal, again, was a great example of that. Our first tranche was sold very quickly. We put the second order in very, very soon after the first lot arrived, especially because some of them were leaky bottles. So we put a new order in, a new one came in, that went out, and now you've had the third tranche come in this morning. And again, it's a big company that supplies us, but they, because they're serving everybody else as well, they couldn't keep up with the demand of doing our white label version for us. So in anything, almost anything you see that isn't available, it's down to supply chain. Now, I think I've said enough as usual. So, you know, watch out tomorrow. We're going to launch some incentives for period 8, just some incentives to keep the business going. Catalog by the end of July, which is 2 weeks tomorrow, and we're working on Christmas. Everything is coming together in a way where I, at times through lockdown, couldn't even see the light at the end of the tunnel, just like you guys couldn't in your own lives. Some of us could not even focus. Nobody knew what was happening in the world, in personal lives, in business lives. But the one thing you did do, you stayed connected with each other, with us, and that is probably one of the biggest factors why this business got through that time and is now looking like it could flourish in a way that it hasn't flourished before, even though we've come through all that. And there's loads of exciting things that we're working on, and gradually, piece by piece, we'll tell you all about them. So thank you for everything, and especially for what you've done in the last few weeks and through that lockdown period. I don't know of any other business that stayed connected the way you supported each other. Forget about supporting us. The way you supported each other is absolutely phenomenal. So thank you very much. That's it, really. You're welcome.
I know you can't hear everybody clapping because I've asked most people to mute themselves, but that's phenomenal. Thank you so much, Michael. I don't think you need to apologise in any way, shape or form for out of stocks, because I think we have done with Viva MK just unbelievable. If the start of the lockdown and down on Bob Hardy's birthday, the 23rd of March, which I won't forget, Bob, from that date to have thought that we could still get the products to our customers from the suppliers, from DPD, I don't know about anybody else, I didn't think we would get even that. So to achieve a best month in business, we've had the best month since the new Viva MK launch. We've all had the best month. That's just phenomenal. So thanks so much to everybody. Special thanks. Mike and Jean, speak so I can see you, unless you disappeared for a glass of wine. Speak. They went for a glass of wine. They went for a glass of wine. Mike and Jean, I don't know what you guys think. Yeah, you're there.
Yes.
Phenomenal. I'll put wine in a minute. That was phenomenal. absolutely phenomenal. We need to do more of these because I've got another few ones I could think, oh, we'll get them to talk about this or that. You were brilliant. Promise you'll do more for us.
Yes.
Get them a glass of wine in their hand and they'll say yes. I'm sure everybody would love that. Thanks so much to everybody. Now, what we've been doing in our webinars is we've been getting somebody from the team to say, to close the meeting. Now, I'm going to pick on somebody who's done it a couple of times because she's brave now. Fiona, I'm going to pick on you. But I also want to take this opportunity to just recognise wee Fee, as we call her, in the team. She's hit her star 1000, blanket shopping mostly around her boys on her own.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you, Fiona. You've done so great closing the meeting, so why don't you close it tonight? The pressure's on now. Go, girl.
Okay, well, thank you to all our speakers. We've had some great tips and great encouragement there. And if we can manage what we've done during lockdown, the future is certainly incredibly bright. So everybody get out there and let's get the sales in. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you, Fiona. Good night, everybody. Good night. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, Kevin, if you're still on, Kevin, right?
Oh, I love that dog.
Is Kevin there? Here's Kevin. Speak, Lisa. Where are you? Let me forget you, because this is what Kevin wants.
Oh.
I don't know if Kevin and Lisa's still here, but Kevin has been talked into getting one of these by Lisa. How's that for me duplicating? See you all in the next webinar. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye, everybody. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Bye, Mary. See your wee face.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Oh, yeah. Let's do it, bloody come on. He's building style on.
Well, no, she didn't want to hear.